Good evening, everybody.
Welcome
to another meeting of Handful Town Council. For those people who haven't been here before, few housekeeping issues. If the fire alarm goes off, it is not a test, it is real. Please exit either the exit over there or the way you came in and assemble at the front of the building. Okay, on to the agenda. Agenda item 24.6.1 to receive apologies for absence.
No, received apologies from Councillor Hardy.
Okay, thank you. Agenda item 24.6.2 is to note declarations of interest and requests for dispensation to discuss and vote on a matter in which a member or co-opted member has a disclosable pecuniary and non-pecuniary interest. Does that apply to any councillors here?
No.
Okay, thank you. Agenda item 24.063 is the open forum. Comments and questions concerning items on this agenda can be put to the council by the public during this period. Matters which in the chairman's view require debate and or a discussion will be referred to the next committee or council meeting as appropriate. Items not pertaining to the agenda may also be taken at this time at the chairman's discretion. The public forum is restricted to 15 minutes and strictly 3 minutes per person unless the chairman allows otherwise. Over to you, members of the public. Anything anybody wants to ask? Question? Okay. Right. Agenda item 24.064 is to approve and sign the minutes of the Town Council Planning Committee meeting of the 13th of February. Those people who are entitled to vote on the planning committee, are there any issues?
None.
Okay, can I have a proposer then, please, to accept the minutes? Thank you, Councillor Small. A seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Sampson. All those in favour? Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Agenda item 24.065 is to approve and sign the minutes of the Handful Town Council meeting of the 13th of February 2024. Does any councillor have anything to add, query? Yes, Councillor Swan.
Two comments. On page 4, item 11 there, 2 copies of the map would also be provided to the 2 schools in Handful. Those 2 schools have received a copy of the town map.
That will be in my report.
And on page 6, there's a definite mistake. If I can find it, yes, page 6. It's not Hall Woods on item 19. Hall Wood refers specifically. Yes, I would advocate changing that to read Hall Road Woods to distinguish it from Hall Wood, which is down in the valley of the River Dean.
Hall Road Wood South to be pedantic.
Sorry?
Is it Hall Road Wood South to be pedantic?
Is that it?
I suppose it is, yes.
Okay, anything further?
Not from me, Chairman.
Okay, may I have a proposer then, please, to accept the minutes?
With those, or that single correction anyway.
Yes, with the corrections. Thank you, Councillor Julie Smith. Proposes and seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Small. All those in favour? Thank you.
I'm not really sure. Oh yeah. Yourself, you alright with that? Yeah, good.
Sorry, I'm miles away.
Agenda item 24.066 which is to receive a report from the PCSN.
You want to do in his absence?
Oh right, we didn't read this out last time, did we? Yeah. Lowest breakdown of incidents in Handful, not including Coleshaw, since the last meeting. The level of detail provided depends on what GDPR will allow and not compromising ongoing investigations. We have had 5 burglaries in the area and 2 attempted burglaries. We have limited lines of inquiry, but we are waiting on forensics to come back. Theft from motor vehicles, 3. All of these are from Total Fitness and all involving laptop bags taken that were left on display. It's a lesson there. Harassment, no repeat demands, no thefts of motor vehicles, antisocial behaviour, 2, different locations and different suspects. I'm taking this figure with a pinch of salt and would please ask councillors to encourage residents to report ASB to us if it is happening. As I have said previously, if there is anything you would like to see in this report that you currently aren't, please let me know and I will do what I can. Kind regards, PCSO Gareth Harding.
Councillor.
Chair, I'd like to comment that under antisocial behaviour, we've seen a return of the motorcycle gang, about 5 to 6 machines sometimes, which roll down Hall Road and do wheelies along footpath 91. The leader of the group has a bright red machine. It's scarlet, you can't miss it. And his deputy has a bright yellow machine, very, very obvious. The others have machines which are black, grey.
They don't have registration plates.
They don't have registration
No,
plates.
so they can't be caught.
Do you have photographic evidence of it?
Can I just cut across there?
Sorry.
The police know who he is, but they can't get him in the act.
What,
They
because
can't
he
get
hasn't got a
they can't get his
registration plate?
vehicle.
Yeah, he's not got
because
that.
he
Really?
But also, he'll go down footpaths.
I
The police
believe
can't chase.
that the ringleader is of school age because he was active during the half-term period.
The police know who they are.
Yeah.
They know who they are, they just can't arrest them because they haven't got any evidence.
Yeah.
So unless somebody stops them when they drive down Hall Road, stands out, sticks a stick through the spokes or something, they're not going to get them.
They have got evidence, Tim. They've got CCTV from the village.
But that won't say anything, though, will
But they can't, because there's no registration plates, they can't do anything about it.
If you live,
They know who he is. They go to his home address. They don't know where he's keeping the bike because the bikes move around. Without that, they can't do anything.
and if you live on the route taken by this motorcycle gang, you have to be quite careful about photographing them in the act because they can then identify who you are and where you live.
But
So
you can't, it's pointless. We've got them on CCTV,
Yeah.
but they can't
Yeah.
be identified. They're
Yeah.
wearing helmets or balaclavas.
Yeah.
It's impossible without Gareth actually standing there and catching them.
We can just hope that they'll come off the bike.
The whole thing.
And then an ambulance is required.
Unfortunately, it's
Could
the
be a
modern world.
dangerous exercise. but-
It's the 2020s. If this happened in 1986, 4 lads would pull them off the bike, beat them up, and they'd be arrested. But it's
Thank you,
not.
councillor.
It's 2024, and you can't do anything because
Right,
people
okay.
are, people are protected by woke laws.
Yeah.
You know?
Same with electric bikes, electric scooters.
Okay, thank you. Can we close it down, please? Anything else? No, okay. Thank you. Agenda item 24067 is to approve and sign the order of payments for March 2024. Does anybody have anything they wish to query on the payments? Yes, councillor Small.
Is the road safety mirror in place yet?
Yeah, so
It's up.
Where is it?
at the end of the
At
drive.
the end of Old Road, on the opposite side, on Station Road.
On the telegraph.
On a telegraph pole.
Yeah.
How long do we think it's going to be there?
Hopefully longer than on
When did you
Highway
put that
3
up?
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Oh, dear. Okay, if there are no
It's up there.
queries on it, then may I have a proposer to accept the order of payments, approve rather. Thank you, councillor Small and councillor Sullivan to second. All those in favour? Thank you. Okay, agenda item 24068. Sorry, do you want me to give you up to say something? Give me 1 second.
Oh, yeah, cheers.
Sorry, I'm having trouble holding
No,
the pen.
no,
There you are.
no.
That's good.
Or we want to. Okay, my report. My apologies to councillors, I'm afraid I have been working full time and I didn't have time to complete this in time to send it out. So you will get a copy if you require one. It will be with the pack when it's the minutes. So my report. The compost, plant pots and seeds to grow poppies to plant around the War Memorial have all been delivered to the Grange and St Benedict's. I would like to thank our nurseryman who does our planters for the generous donation of compost and pots, so the exercise did not cost the council a penny. Hopefully, when these grow, we'll be able to have an event with the school children planting them. The historical trail through Hall Road Woods, Councillor Small, has finally got underway and has generated great interest from locals who were unaware of the history of the area. The lectern at the far end of the woods will be delivered shortly, we hope. These lecterns provide a valuable insight into the history of the town and will form part of the historical trail we hope to have. Councillor Peter Moore and I spent a morning running the refreshments for the Repair Cafe at St Chad's the other Saturday. I'm pleased to say that there were more people than ever before, and the repairers had a very successful day, repairing all sorts of things from guitars, clothes, soft toys, jewellery, toasters, and even some furniture. Both rooms were used for the event this time, which allowed more repairers in, and there was always a queue for the electricians. Our thanks to all those who took part and to the organisers, Wonslow Transition, for bringing this to Hample. The event grows from strength to strength. The maps have been delivered to both the Grange and St Benedict's, and both schools have expressed their thanks for these. The map at Ham 14 has been installed and has generated much interest, with people overheard saying, "I didn't know that." Our thanks to all involved, particularly Councillor Small and Ashley, for all their hard work on this. Councillor Peter Moore, Angela and I had an interesting meeting with Andrew Backhouse and his wife Frances at the youth centre to look at the building with regard to heating, lighting, etc. Dr. Francis Hill has a PhD in environmental engineering and is a senior lecturer at Manchester University covering sustainability engineering in buildings. We are very grateful for their input and insight into the building, and I thank them very much for giving their time free of charge. I have a report from them which covers many things and that will be shared with everyone. The exercise raised many questions which will be addressed over the coming weeks. As a result of this, I've asked the clerk to get in touch with the company that maintains the boilers so we can have an update on these. They are the only company that can maintain the system, and I have been told that parts are not available. Clearly, the continued maintenance and operation will become an issue. We also need to know what the worst case scenario is in the event that the boilers fail, as they are extremely old. The survey has raised all sorts of questions. It would appear to be imperative that we now clarify our plans for the community centre, including costings and grants available. To demonstrate due diligence, it would make sense to have a full professional survey of the building. And that's the end of my report.
Is there a cost to the full survey? Have we made inquiries?
That will all be covered a little later.
Okay.
We can do it now if you want.
You want to?
Yeah,
You
we can do it
go
now.
ahead then.
I have advertised an EXO meeting for next week. However, we don't necessarily need to hold that meeting if I can get some sort of outline agreement from you all now. We require this survey for due diligence, and our solicitor will need to see that we've done this as well, to be perfectly honest. It did strike me. The cost of the survey is 1995 plus VAT. I think we've kicked it around a bit because we've wanted to do it in the past. We've talked about it, but of course Cheshire used to kick the can down the road on providing us with a lease or anything like that, and messed us around so much that we've sort of kicked that down the road as well. But we are now at a point where we might be getting a draft lease within the next month or two, so we're best to do our due diligence from our end, to be perfectly fair. So if you're happy for me to proceed, we can retrospectively approve this in April. But we can get on with it.
Chair, there's a comment. Can I propose that we do as that says and that we give it the nod today.
Yeah.
So that,
Absolutely, as long as
I'll
we're working
second
within the
that.
rules,
Yeah,
that's
we
fine.
just need to retrospectively approve it to the next meeting. If I can take a vote on it now and everybody's happy, then we won't need a next, meeting.
Yeah.
So,
I'll second it.
Okay, so we've got a proposal, we've got a second.
no?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Vote.
in
to
favour?
vote in
All
favour.
those in favour? That's unanimous?
Unanimous? Okay.
Okay, lovely.
So
Okay,
ignore the summons for
anything else,
next
is
week.
that it?
Yeah.
Can I
Thank
just ask,
Yes,
just in respect of the repair workshop, is that something that if it's going ahead, could you let the council know? Because I find that quite interesting to attend.
yeah, there's one, I don't know if it's October or November, they tend to have two a year, they have one at the back end and one at in spring, they're always at St Chad's.
Yeah.
I will endeavour to send an email around so you all know.
Yeah, thank you.
It's Anna Wimslow.
Yes.
Anna Wimslow.
Sorry,
In Wimslow, so that.
councillor.
So when was the meeting with the Drew's Backhouse? When was that?
Last Friday, not this Friday, gone the Friday before.
And so who attended that?
Sorry,
Who attended that?
councillor Moore, myself and Angela, obviously Andrew and Francis, his wife.
Right. It's just that we were both involved in the original
Working group.
group.
Correct,
And
but
some of the
for
events
reasons
that-
I won't say right now, you did make a certain comment to me,
Yeah.
so that's the reason. I don't think you want to have that. Don't think we need to air that, do we?
Well, I made a comment to you and I stand by it.
Sorry?
I made a comment to you in private and I stand by it.
Okay, so that comment was that you did not wish to be involved, so I stood
No,
by
no.
your, yes, that's what you said to me.
No, I did not wish to be involved with Mr. Backhouse, is what I said.
Correct, and Mr. Backhouse was there, so
Right, that's okay.
that, I respected your wishes, I told you I was going to go ahead with it, and I have done.
Okay.
Okay? Right. Agenda item 24, don't kill it, it's a
I'm not
ladybird.
killing it.
Agenda item 24069 is to receive a representative from the Citizens Advice Bureau who has requested to address the town council.
Thank you very much. Am I okay seated on my stuff? How would you?
Absolutely.
Well,
Whatever suits.
Whichever you want, whatever, however you're happy.
I'll Councillor Harper. Well, thank you very much for the time. I'll be as brief as possible. I just wanted to come back. I don't know how many people, it seems so long ago, were here. Last time I was there, I came with a view to asking the council what they thought around the, if and when we sit the advice return to Handful, where the service should be delivered, how it should be delivered, and so on. And prior to that, and after that, I'd had a meeting with Councillor Jewett, which was very encouraging and very supportive, because it's good to know our service. It's good to know that where we want to deliver the service, that the people that matter within that, all the stakeholders are keen to have us there. So hopefully you know that fortunately we've been successful in getting some funding to enable us to return the service back to Handful, and we wanted to start as early as possible. That started a couple of weeks ago, and following the advice from the council, we're operating out the library rather than the health centre where we've been before. The advisor was away for a couple of weeks, but we wanted to get started as soon as possible, try and get it out there and get it established. But her first session proper was today, so it's every Tuesday morning. It's appointments only at the moment, and it's at the library. And the library themselves couldn't be more accommodating. It's a fantastic venue, and all the staff there have been jolly helpful and supportive. And a lot of the work that the council, like the library does, dovetails with the work that we do as well. So it's hopefully going to be a long and successful relationship. What I was quite keen was just to share with you the statistics that we have, because although we haven't delivered since COVID, I'm afraid, and I do look forward to that. I say it's a lot, I look forward to the day when COVID isn't a reference, but regrettably for a lot of our service, it still is a reference point. Even though, although we haven't been delivering in Handful for quite a while now, we have still been dealing with enquiries from the Handful area. So I thought I'd give you a breakdown for January to December, the clients that we were dealing with from the Handful area. So this would be accessing other services or maybe telephone, emails and things like that. So for that period, we dealt with 264 unique clients who had 1,238 separate problems or issues. So if someone who loses their job, they might have an employment issue, they might have an issue around welfare rights, they might have an issue about debt. That's how that works. So invariably, one person will have multiple issues. That's always been the case with our kind of work. And the majority of the inquiries were around welfare benefits, and that could cover disability benefits for someone who's in the 90s, through to a young person who wants assistance making a claim for universal credit because they can't find work. 231 debt issues, so that's people that have unmanageable debt and they want support with that. 74 housing issues, again that can range from disrepair to unlawful eviction or something like that. 73 financial services, that's people looking for support with the management of their, I'm going to say wealth, but their finances as opposed to debt management. 61 applications for charitable supports, that's looking for maybe food banks and similar things like that, and 52 utilities, which problems with utilities, gas, electricity, not surprising given the fact that they've been a major impact on cost of living recently. And over that period, income generated from work that we'd supported with a client. Now, most of this will be helping somebody claim a welfare benefit, and that benefit is, the way that we do the calculation is a standard process. We calculate the weekly amount for 52 weeks, so you get an annual amount of that award. And that was £163,746, and actual debts written off was £54,338. And I could give a bit of a breakdown, but it probably just be throwing numbers at you around the age breakdown. But certainly, the people that were using that service in the main were 40 and above. So, and attracting, getting younger people to use our services has always been something that we struggle with. That's not to say that they're not there, but the majority of people using the service are 40 and above. So just for last year, we were something like 5 clients a week is what we were looking at. And one of the things that I'm always mindful of when we look at kind of hit rates like that, that's important. I think it tells us something. But what it doesn't necessarily tell us is the people who locally who maybe would have used the service, and I would say this anywhere, who would have used the service but couldn't access it. So I kind of stretch the notion of survivor bias, you know, where we focus on the numbers that we have rather than the bit that we don't know. So we know the hits that we're getting, and that's suggesting people that there are people in Handforth who want to access our service. But there might be a lot of other people, there might be none, we don't know, but there could be a lot of other people who aren't accessing anything, but who actually need the service.
Thank you very much. Any questions, councillors? Oh, lots. Okay. Away you go.
You go first.
First, I'd like to congratulate you on raising the funding to return your service back to Handforth. That's excellent news. Listening to the account that you've given of the kind of claims that have been made to you or queries that have been brought to you, are you aware of the existence of the Wilmslow Aid Trust? There are 3 trustees here tonight, and I would, as one of them, I would say that the Wilmslow Aid Trust has not been approached in recent times for assistance by people in desperate need. And I would recommend that you perhaps, if you identify such persons, that you point them in the direction of Mr. David Pinkham, who is the, what is he, the treasurer or the chair of the Wilmslow Aid Trust.
Can I just say though that the Wilmslow Aid Trust does not give money. They give materials and they give equipment, but they do not give money. So I was going to ask is, obviously with all the numbers that you've quoted, could you have a more permanent position here in the youth centre or at the library if you've got all these people, whereby we can advertise it better? Because you say there's young people out there that you're not attracting. And in order for them to visit citizen advice, you don't have a walk-in centre. You have to have an appointment.
That's right.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
I said this, could I address, am I okay addressing
Yes,
this?
of course.
Wilmslow Trust, we are jolly aware. Wilmslow Trust has been,
good.
over the decades, predating me, because we've had people who have been trustees who have been as closely associated with us. So we actually hold a little bit of money from Wilmslow Trust for clients who have to travel. When you go back a number of years, there used to be a job centre plus in Wilmslow, and that's closed down. Wilmslow Trust, because then people have to travel to Mansfield, Wilmslow Trust has made an amount of money that we hold to cover travel fares. So we're very aware of Wilmslow Trust. What we wouldn't want to do is, saturate that charity with the applications for support. But I'll take it on board, and because one of the things that I've been asking my colleagues to do is to review the use of independent charities, particularly in light of, from April, the emergency assistance fund that's provided through Cheshire East Council, that's no longer going to be available. That's one of the many impacts of the financial realities that everybody, including councils, and borough councils, find themselves there. And as far as we want to be able to come back in a that's helpful, in a measured and a sustainable way. And we could have hung on and waited until we had a number of people, because one of the things about operating a drop-in service is that you don't want someone in an interview room and outside, who knows what's going on, deal with a client, open the door, you've got a line of people there waiting for you, and it's unmanageable. Some of them have been waiting. It's happened to me in the past, because most people in CAB started off as a volunteer advisor, and then you feel obligated. And sometimes, you might start at 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock, because you feel obligated to do those people. So it's trying to manage it. But we are very aware that we believe face-to-face is important, and where we can, dropping is important. But we need to be able to manage it.
Thank you. Is something that hasn't been covered?
Sorry, what's your name?
I didn't say that. I just wrote introduce yourself, but I didn't write it. I didn't say it right. My name's Will McGowan.
Okay, hi Will, I'm Kerry. First of all, I just want to say thank you for coming along and giving us those statistics, because it's really interesting to see. What I was just, more importantly, I was going to address to Ashley was, can we get these statistics out on the Facebook page to the community, just so that, they're aware that you are here? And,
well, you just need to send me any advertising that you've got.
Yeah, any advertising. I feel like I think I speak for everyone. Yes, but we'll obviously support you fully. That was just my little bit to say. Thank you for coming in.
You were quite active early on, weren't pushing it out.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks that wasn't going to be there. So,
yeah. I think with the community and everything that
Yeah,
you've got
absolutely.
going, cost of
Totally
living
agree.
and all that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No problem.
Yeah.
Councillor.
How many staff do you have at the library?
it's just the one which the challenge that we have, because we don't operate lone working. So fortunately, the library, it means that we don't have someone on their own, but what we don't have is someone crowd control, which is why we can't have the open door. We may work it that as we bring through volunteers, because that's a paid work there. So because so what I should have said, the service is like a casework service. So somebody will come, they'll present their problem, and there might be a piece of work to go away. So the advisor will take that work, go away, do the research, if need be, liaise with a third party, then get back to the client and work that way. Running along with them, because we've got a lot of recovering to do post-COVID. Again, sorry, because a lot of volunteers lost a lot of volunteers, really. That they went away. I'm not saying they were victims of COVID, rather we were the victims as clients, as we weren't doing so much face-to-face. So there will be some volunteers working with them. that's as much for their training and their experience. So just one person at the moment.
Is it an easily identifiable area when you walk in the library? Or do you have to ask somebody?
It's the, as far as I'm aware, there's only one room, there's one office in the, and it's quite discreet. It depends how you do it. No, it's not obvious because it's to your left and it's behind, believe it or not, bookcases. So, so it's not, but to a degree, depends how you do it, that's a positive because it's discreet. And the staff are there and we've got leaflets on the reception.
Yeah, I was going to say, when we went to see them, when they first started, we walked in and the staff asked, have you come for the citizens' advice, and took us to the room. So the staff are very good there.
Is it a 40 hour per week position? So it's open when the library's open?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
40 weeks.
40 hours per week?
No.
Russell,
No.
What's the library open?
No, it's
no,
Tuesday.
we're only there Tuesday
Oh, is it just, right, sorry, so.
I'm sorry, I misheard you. I thought you were saying 48 weeks
Right.
a year.
So
No, it's, the person works a whole day on Tuesday. They're seeing clients in the morning.
Right,
Because there's follow-up work.
yeah, okay. So it's one day a week in the library?
Yeah, well, one morning week seeing
One morning, yeah. One session.
Okay. Final question.
Just
Councillor?
raise a classic problem of how you get your word out to people. We've got the same problem. And so certainly young people, how the hell do you get to them that they know you're there?
Facebook.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah, 11.
The demographic is 30 to 65 on Facebook. The young people don't own Facebook anymore.
No, they don't.
No,
They don't.
they don't.
Instagram.
I know an
let's not
ex-president.
debate
on the
Facebook.
handball community.
It's not just the only way.
members.
We're not
Just
here
the
to
only
debate Facebook. We need to.
It's not the only way.
It's a start.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one way of doing
Better
it.
than nothing.
Yeah.
We have to think of other ways.
It's a start.
Jay, can I ask one final question?
Yeah, of course.
I have a massive statistics and case studies and stuff available. I'm very happy to pull together a report. I can submit it in paper if you like, or I can come and talk to it on a quarterly basis, or however often your council happy to do that, just so that you've got a sight.
That would be wonderful, yes. That would be very acceptable.
So if I can have
Yeah.
something that should be comparable to something that we do with in other areas, I'll send it to you after that.
Yeah.
And if you want me to come and speak to it, I'm happy to come and speak.
Super. Well, thank you very much. And can I just say, on behalf of the council and all the residents, a grateful thanks for your services because they are obviously very much needed. So thank you very much. Sorry, Councillor Smith. did
No,
you
it's
want to-
okay. I'll ask him. I'll speak to Wilson.
Okay. Right. So thank you.
Am I okay to?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Supervise my daughter?
Agenda item 240610 is to suspend financial regulations 10 and 11 to agree a new service level agreement for handyman services with Home Assist for 3 years to begin March 24, up to the budgeted amount of £17,500 a year. HTC has received no interest from any other party in regard to the matter, and this item was deferred from the previous meeting. Open to you, councillors.
I agree that we should retain the service maintenance officer that we have. I think he does an excellent job, and without him, I think Handford would be looking quite shabby, and I think it's looking really nice. And for the amount it costs, I think we should retain him.
Okay, any comments, yes, councillor Smith?
I agree with everything Councillor Sampson says. Given that it's and the budgeted amount of £17,000 per year, should we have some sort of leeway in there at the clerk's discretion for something that's out of the blue that is an extraordinary item?
I think we already
What
do,
sort of leeway?
Councillor Smith.
We've never even hit that
No.
amount, to be perfectly honest.
Just in the event that
Yeah.
something should happen.
Yeah, he's done extra day here and there when it's been requested because there's been something on. But to be perfectly honest, we've never come anywhere near the budgeted amount.
Okay. Fine.
We just have to work up a limit.
All right, then, comments from anybody else?
I just propose to support it. I think he's done a fantastic job the last few years.
Yeah.
He's
We
always
fill holes
been
in
there when
roads.
we've needed him.
Any other comments?
Maybe he could plant something in it.
Okay, can I have a proposer then, please?
I'll propose.
Thank you. Councillor Julie Smith proposes, and a second. Councillor Sullivan. All those in favour? Yes, unanimous. Thank you very much. Agenda item 240611 is safety measures footpath 91 crossing Coppice Way to install up to 2 slow pedestrian signs on Coppice Way to a maximum value of £150 plus VAT and carriage. This item was also deferred from the previous meeting. Open to councillors.
Well, if it's a safety measure, I'm fully supportive of it.
Have we had agreement from highways?
We've had about as much agreement from highways as we have over the safety mirror.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not going to be removed, that's what I'm saying.
To be perfectly honest, we put all sorts of signs up and it's not been removed, so they seem quite.
Why would they?
Yeah, they seem okay about things.
I must
20
admit,
watts then
And
to
Marks and
pay.
Spencer's, I thought that were.
To be honest, they're
Marks and
highway
Spencer's.
poles, so even though it's M&S land, it's highway poles, so M&S can't really say anything.
Councillor Small?
Yeah, this is a project which I think I kicked off at the last meeting, and at the last meeting it was agreed that Ashley would install the speed indicating device on Coppice Way, and he's kindly given me a readout, and the number of vehicles exceeding the speed limit running from west to east was more than 115 vehicles per day exceeding the speed limit, and as regards vehicles coming from the east towards the west, it was 240 vehicles per day.
And what did they exceed the speed limit? What was the average speed?
The average speed was in fact quite low for westbound traffic, 26.76 miles per hour, and for eastbound it was 25.65. The average speeds seem low and healthy and respectable, but I would argue that in this case it's not so much the speed of the vehicles, but if you're an old fellow like me trying to cross the Coppice Way from the Marks and Spencer's car park towards Hall Road, there's a very poor line of sight for cars approaching from the west. You cannot see them coming until they're on top of you. And even travelling at 30 miles an hour, they've got a very little space in which to slam their anchors on to stop you being hit by them.
Yeah.
Just very recently, Prue and I were coming back from Marks and Spencer's, and we were in a bunch of other people, and we were waiting to cross, and the forerunners in the bunch crossed to the island, totally filled the island, and Prue and I were left mid-carriageway and terrified of what might suddenly appear around the corner there. The design of that roundabout, that's in the southwest corner of Marks and Spencer's, is such that you can drive straight through it from west to east without any use of brakes or any use of the steering wheel. It's a straight line, basically. And so I would recommend that we do something about it at any rate, and that's to put up a couple of slow pedestrian crossing signs.
If it's safe,
Get Gareth there with his speed gun.
I'll propose that.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Do we have to have permission?
No, we'll just crack on.
No, we'll
Yeah.
just
We'll just
crack on and do it, because
We'll just crack
we could
on.
wait for donkeys.
Yeah, we would.
Well, why can't he put Gareth Harding up there with his piece, with his
He
speed gun?
has. Yeah,
Right.
It has been.
Can we get on, ladies and gentlemen? We have a lot to get through.
Okay.
Agenda item 240612 is to review and agree a grant application received from Hens. The application seeks grant assistance towards the provision of a new signalling system for the Hamforth Miniature Railway. The grant amount requested is £1,000. Over to you.
I fully support this. I think it's an amazing asset that we have in Hamforth, especially if you've got children and grandchildren. They are there on a regular basis on a Sunday. They also invite teenagers to go and have a look at how they maintain the trains. And I would like everybody to consider this and support it.
Yeah. I'll second that.
Councillor Small?
Is there a representative from the Mechanical Engineering
Yes,
Society?
we do.
Brilliant.
Would you like to say a few words on your society's behalf?
I don't know what you'd like to say, but the society does projects like this. What's happened is in 2020, HSE produced a document about running miniature railways for rides in the UK. We comply with that to a, what we say, to a minimal extent. We're at the base level, if you like. To put signalling in is not a absolute requisite, but it is advised to have it. Projects like this that are capital projects, you can see the Finance Committee's obviously looked at our accounts. We basically rely on grants to actually improve what we've got there, because our takings through donations from running basically cover our yearly running costs and not a lot else. So if we want to do any projects, we rely on people like this, the generosity of the council and other people where we can get grants from to improve the facilities. So thank you very much for considering it anyway.
Can I just make a comment on this? Is it really necessary to get a year's bank statements from anybody who applies for a grant? Because I think it's very off-putting to anybody who wanted to.
I think you're quite right. I think the grants application just needs looking at.
Yeah, it's excessive and should be scrapped.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's something to put on to the
next. Yeah.
An item on.
We keep looking at this, I think
We're just gonna have
we need to
an
look at
up-to-date
this.
bank account in the future.
Councillor Smith,
That's
do you
one of
want
the
to?
things.
Yeah, I just wanted to check with you. Did you actually implement the wheelchair carriage?
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
the new siding is in.
yeah.
The carriage has been out on, it only, the siding only got, because of the weather, the siding only became functional just after Christmas. It's been out every weekend since then. It's been used most weekends.
Yeah.
There's been quite a lot of interest in it, especially from the Seashell Trust.
Yeah.
They're now aiming to, I want to say, on a nice day, when they walk the students, they're aiming to come down on Wednesdays and Sundays, as much as they can, really, down to the park. So I think you might see a few more people walking down from the Seashell Trust into Handful. We see quite a lot of them anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, any further questions, Councillor Saul?
Just a comment. I'd like to congratulate Ian on having put together a grant application in such a professional way. It's great.
And yes, and I'd just like to say that I think it's a wonderful institution, but you already know that. Okay, so can we have a proposal, please? Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, pick anyone from four. And the seconder, please. Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 240613 is to discuss and agree up to 4 community skip days to be held during 24-25, possibly one per quarter, up to a maximum value of £1,200 plus VAT. Councillor John Smith. Can we let Councillor Smith speak first?
My name was put on there because Councillor Julie Smith wasn't certain of coming this evening.
No.
Okay.
With other commitments.
Well,
No.
whichever one of you wants to speak.
Yeah.
Her
Well,
issue.
it's self-explanatory, isn't it? I want to have more skips because I think we owe it to our residents to be able to help them get rid of their rubbish, especially with the closure of the tips in Poynton and Bollington. A lot of people are going to struggle to get to Macclesfield to dump their rubbish, and it has cut down on the amount of fly tipping in the village since I've been doing this since 2019. So There's not much more to say.
Fully support it, 150%. I was just going to ask, with the garden waste not being taken, is that acceptable?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
brilliant, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
I'd
definitely.
propose to
The
support
skip
it.
is manned, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, you're there with a volunteer normally.
No, well, it's normally Wendy from Onward.
Right, yeah.
Councillor Moore.
But these aren't being provided for by Onward, they're going to be provided by us, aren't they?
Yeah,
So
but
really-
Onward are also committing to doing some as well. I'd like to do them once a month, to be quite honest, because I think it's necessary. I think people are going to struggle to get rid of the rubbish. So
Just 1 minute, Councillor Moore.
Can I suggest we defer this proposal? It's an ongoing project with residents' money, and I think any of these things, they need to be reviewed ever so often. And I think I'd like us to, as a council, to review it over the next few weeks, come back with perhaps alternatives, perhaps amendments, whatever. There's no hurry here. I think it's a chance to review it and to make sure we're doing the right thing. It's cost effective, and so.
I don't really think we need to really go down that road, Councillor Moore.
No,
What I'd
definitely.
like to see is a skip with authorisation given out to the residents, because I know when I did the skip with Councillor Moore, a guy came with a fridge. And
With a,
It's always stated that they can't put fridges in.
yeah, but
Fridges.
who
Why
stated
is that?
that?
It's on all the adverts, on the
Yeah.
on the notice board.
Well, didn't do it with the new skip.
When people ask, we
No,
tell
why-
them.
Yeah, but we
but-
didn't, but I didn't know that.
Right, no.
I'll
So
speak to
I
the company
think
and make sure.
If, excuse me,
Yeah.
if
can we all
councillors,
not talk at
if
once, please?
councillors are willing to give up their time to monitor the skip, because had we not been monitoring, a guy came with 4 great big fat black tyres and he'd have put them in, and the skip man wouldn't have taken our skip. So I didn't know the
And I didn't
tyres
know either.
couldn't go.
Yeah.
So I think that I would like Ashley to give us a list of what can and can't go in a skip,
I can tell
because
you.
I wasn't sure.
We know what can
There's
go
only
in
two
a
things:
skip.
asbestos and tyres. I'll take anything apart from asbestos and tyres.
And paint.
And
And
fridges.
oil.
Fridges.
No.
I've spoken to
Fridges,
Brockler's.
Yeah.
Anything else to go
No,
in?
no fuel.
I've spoken to Brockler's.
The other,
Excuse me, there's a lady.
This is my
just
point.
1 minute. I'll
This is
bring you
my
in a
point. We
second.
don't know what we're doing here.
Right.
It needs clarifying, reviewing,
Okay.
so we all know
Chair.
what we're doing. There's no hurry here. I don't see a problem in having a few weeks to just think it through, discuss it, and come back with a cohesion plan that we all understand and all agree to. I don't see why there's a big hurry to just pass it.
Can I just
Your poly faces,
mention one thing?
Councillor Smith.
I'm not against the skips at all. For an extra £20, you could have a bigger
Bigger skip.
skip. And that might have alleviated some of the
We
issues.
brought a
we
second
had.
skip.
We
The
have
last
the bigger
skip. So I
skips.
think-
Well, no, we haven't.
No,
We
no,
have increased
the
the
one
size of the
from
skip.
last time could have been upgraded for 20 quid. We've done the research.
What, a month
just to
ago?
see. The one that was a month ago. So all we're saying is, we're not trying to kick it into the long grass. All we're saying is, are we getting the best value for money? Where are they going to go? I have an issue for a start with where the skips go. I don't think that we're being fair to all the residents, and they're always on a weekday, and there were lots of people who complain because they're at work and they can't get to the skip, and I don't think that's fair.
Well, can I just say that the last one we had on Knoll Park, a lady took a day off work because it was cheaper to do that than to hire a skip herself.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah,
not
but
going to
that's
get
just one
And they're
person,
always
really.
they're always
That-
filled. So.
okay, that's one person,
Please.
but you know, I don't
No.
think it's fair to those people who
No.
work. So can I just bring Councillor Smith in?
You can.
The location of the skips is predominantly in those areas of social housing. Because a lot of people who live on social housing are not mobile, they don't have cars that they can take stuff to the tip.
Mhm.
So
And
it's
what
a
about all the elderly people who live elsewhere that can't get to the
Yeah,
tip?
but I don't know, we had to find a solution
Exactly,
for that.
that's
But we
my
do get
operative
elderly
question.
people come to the skips
Yeah.
on Spath
Yeah.
Lane. But what I would say is the skip goes away full.
Oh, I know it does.
So, it's
I'm not
obviously-
saying there isn't a need for it.
If it wasn't put in the skip, there's a chance it would be going down Clay Lane.
Mm.
or down to the Mermaid.
We don't do it, John. We say that.
Councillor
sorry.
Smith is saying, and that, you know, the skips are a brilliant idea. We should continue to do it, because now people aren't going to pay £56 to have their garden waste removed. So if they know there's a skip coming and they can put the garden waste in our skips, well, I'm happy about that. And it helps all the residents. But I did get one complaint from a lady on Merriton Road, wanting to know why they couldn't have a skip there. And I,
They do have one there regularly.
when was the last one?
When the meeting is.
Might be last year,
Not
Well,
on one.
it was last July, and she said,
No,
yes,
no,
well, that's what she
no.
told us.
There will have been one early last year.
It wasn't, it was late last year.
Was it?
Yeah, after Knoll Park. I'll find out and tell you.
Councillor
But they have them,
I mean,
we have
as
them
I
there
say,
regularly. Knoll Park, Merriton Road, and different locations on Spath Lane.
Right, can you hold on 1 minute?
Yeah,
Mark?
I was just going to say, if you'd let Wendy speak,
Yeah.
and then I'll speak.
It's not a public forum. is it?
Can I just say, I think the skip's a wonderful idea. However, you will get a lot of comments for people who live on the opposite side of the road to Spath Lane. Why is there not one on our estate?
Correct, and that's what
And
I
it's
found.
all very well saying it's social housing and everything,
No,
but we have the same problems who aren't in social housing.
Yeah.
I
We
agree.
can't get to the tips.
I
A
agree.
lot of the Lakes people don't drive.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't paying for the green bin, but there's never a skip.
Can I say, the reason for that is location. Where would you put
You
it?
can put it in my drive. I'm not really
Yeah, but-
bothered.
I know that now.
Yeah, but you never
But-
approached anybody on the like they
No,
say
but-
asking.
Because they come to the Merriton Road skip.
No, they don't.
They
That's
don't.
the
They
whole
do,
point.
I'm there, Cynthia. I speak to people and ask where they come from.
They drive there.
From the lakes.
I just
Very
think it's
like-
not fair
Right,
to
okay.
have the same places.
Yeah.
I think
well,
if
can
you
have
worked
it.
out a year's rota of where it's going to be, and it's different places,
Yeah.
No,
different
because if we
every
tell
day.
people in
Right,
advance,
thank you.
the rubbish
Thank you.
gets.
Can we get back to normal where we restrict the questions and points to around this table?
Sorry,
So we
Councillor.
restrict the comments and points to around this table, otherwise we stay here all evening, don't we?
Councillor Moore.
And my point is well made. It's lack of clarity. We're getting different points and answers here.
Yeah.
It needs reviewing. It's nothing, doesn't
To
stop
be
it
then
happening.
brought back to the
It's a
next
chance to
meeting.
look at and make it even better.
Councillor
Needs to be a bit
Sullivan.
more
Thank you,
organised.
Councillor
Yes,
Moore.
indeed.
I literally just wanted to say, the last time we discussed this, it was raised about the weekends, and Julie did sit here and she said, any of us are welcome to volunteer
And we
on the
did.
weekend.
And
Yeah,
we did, we
and
have
it
done.
was
Yeah, we
just,
did.
it was
Yeah, we
brought
did.
up like it's
Yeah.
weekends.
Because
Julie
there should
did
be the
say
weekends,
Yeah.
there should be the
Yeah,
weekends, to
but
be fair to
that's-
everybody.
That's on
This is
us
relevant money we're
to
spending.
organise. You know, I'm happy to do it if I know when it is. Unfortunately, with my job, I have to know in advance
Yeah.
because I do work on
Well,
call.
there's enough of
Absolutely
you
fine.
on this
But
council
Julie
that can
did
be done.
sit there and say she was happy to do weekends. So
No,
I just
you
wanted
said-
to put
Okay,
that.
No, I'm not
So-
happy to
No,
do
no,
weekends,
she's
but
not. You were
anybody
happy
else
for the
can.
skip
No, I'm not
to be
doing
done on
weekends.
weekends, but you said you do enough during the week.
Yeah.
That was exactly what you said.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But
I
it's
just
not
wanted to
just
put
down
Right.
to one or two people. All of the councillors
Yeah.
should take
Should.
responsibility to
Exactly.
volunteer if you are able.
Yeah.
And the council
And let's
should
review
decide
and decide
as and
on
when
the point.
they skip, where they go and what days they go.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be down
for me
to
personally,
The clerk to
for
decide
me
that.
personally, if we can have a diary of when it's happening,
Mhm.
I can look at it and go, right, I can go to my job and say, I'm not available that
Well,
day.
just
do
say,
the
and then
just
alternative.
tell Ashley when you want it. That's what
Right,
it is.
okay, it's
The
generated a
next
lot
one
of
is the
debate, hasn't
25th
it?
of this month anyway.
Yeah, but that's onwards. It's not ours.
It doesn't matter, it's still for our residents.
Right,
It's not just Onward residents that use it.
Well, I was told it
Councillor
was
Moore
only
has-
for onward residents
It is.
because the skip is on onwards land.
Yeah.
And I rang up Sonia Thompson and she said, we are paying for it for onward tenants. So
right.
why are you saying like that?
Because it's
Julie?
not.
Well, who's told you it's
Anybody can come because we've done them. I've done them for the last 5 years, since
not? Well, how come we
2019.
don't know about
Right,
this?
can we,
That's my point,
Can we-
Cynthia. It's
yeah.
the whole point. What's reviewing?
we should be as a council, reviewing to improve all the time. And I don't, as I said, I'm happy, I like the skips, but I do think it just needs a bit of a review and to be brought back to the next council and discussed and then put forward. So would you want to put this motion forward,
Yes,
to be
indeed.
fair? And then if it doesn't go through, then we vote on the amount.
Absolutely,
So those,
yeah.
Councillor Moore proposing and seconding, those in favour of deferring the motion? Are you not
sorry.
voting?
Was it right?
Okay, so we can't defer the
For what-
motion.
No, deferring it for what reason?
To review it.
To have a complete review and
To
just
clarify
see,
what we're doing.
should we be having
We
a
don't
skip
need-
that's only for garden waste once a month, or
Sorry?
should we be having collections for people who can't manage to get their fridges taken away, or whatever? There's a whole range of things that we could be doing which need looking at, and the skips are part of that. So it's simply a review. That's all I'm saying. I have no wish to kick this into the long
Absolutely
grass.
not.
I think it's a great idea. I just think we need to review to improve. Remember, this is residents' money,
Okay.
not our money.
It needs fine tuning.
So,
Yes.
and we want to do what's
absolutely.
best for them. Councillor Smith.
Does that mean that there won't be any until the review's been done, or will we carry on with the skips?
Well, no, because
Well,
the next
no,
skip
just-
is.
Well,
being
what do you
done
mean?
by-
Well, I'll tell you what,
Can I
then.
just,
One
can
person-
I
Alright.
just answer that, John? Onward are paying for the next skip.
Yeah.
Not us.
Right.
So we've got a month to try and get what we need to do or where these skips are going.
We'll come to the
Because
next
I
meeting.
can
Yeah,
assure
So the
you,
answer is
there are
that-
people on the lakes that do not believe they have a skip there. And a lady in the public gallery has already said the skip does not go.
Right, can I propose an amendment
But
then?
can I
To-
just
to-
say, before
you
you
see,
propose any more
no,
amendments, can I
but
just,
no,
no, can I
is
just, I was
social
speaking,
housing.
Cynthia,
Right,
can I
thank
just say that the reason this is on the agenda now is so that I can go to Onward and ask for them to match our skips, which they have done over the last 5 years. They match ours on a
And
one-for-one basis.
will 1 month make any difference?
Well, I don't know, because it's the start
Okay,
of the
so
new
let
financial
me
year,
propose,
isn't
no,
it?
just 1 minute,
So-
let me propose an amendment that we authorise 1 skip and we do the review, bring it to the April meeting with the review of everything and the amount of money and so forth and so on, and then discuss it
Yeah,
then.
I agree with
Would
that.
you be happier with that?
Well, I don't see
Yeah,
it needs
I wouldn't.
reviewing.
Oh, it does.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Why haven't you reviewed it before, if it needs reviewing?
I've-
Councillor Roy, can we not have
Surely,
internal conversations, please? Councillor Roy.
So we've got 4 community skip days planned for 24-25.
No, we haven't. That's the
We haven't got-
whole point.
Oh, sorry, to
That's
discuss
the
and
That's what
agree
we're improving.
up
Yeah.
to
Approving.
to 4 community skip days to be held during 24-25. Okay, so why don't we arrange 6 skip days and have 3 midweek, 3 on a Saturday, 1 or 4 of them on the Spath Lane estate, 1 of them outside the paddock, 1 of them around the back of the paddock, 1 of them on the car park down there.
Can't put them on the paddock.
But Tim has the point, let's discuss that, isn't it?
Yes, but
Let's bring ideas forward,
yes,
trash them around.
I'm not going into what I know where they can go, but I'm saying if we
You're
have
the
6,
principal.
if we have 6 skips instead of 4, we can have 2 extra skips. We can put them in different locations. 1 on the school car park on a Saturday. We can find the locations. We can discuss it with people who agree to say, "Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea having a skip on Merriton Road. That'd be a good idea having a skip on Coldy Road. That'd be a good idea having a skip down there."
Yeah, but we've got to let people know where these skips are
It
going
needs to be
go.
communicated.
Well,
the
if
whole
you're
point.
proposing
It needs to be
6, then the amount
communicated.
of money has to go up.
Yeah.
Can I say have the 4, but review it?
Yeah.
That's the point, I just want to
saying
review it.
that it would solve the problem to get 2 extra skips and move the 2 extra ones about.
This
So
is
that-
exactly why we need a review.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so we have a review. We let the existing skip go out there. The next skip, whenever
Yeah,
the next
approved
skip
one.
date is going to be.
Yeah.
When is the next skip date?
The end of March.
We haven't decided, it hasn't been decided.
Okay. So you decide to skip dates if it's going to be the first week in June or the first week in May or whenever. That goes ahead. It gives us time to discuss the future skips after that one, whether we increase skips, how we're going to how we're going to, because Julie goes and does every one on a Wednesday.
A Monday.
A Monday.
But she doesn't have to. She chooses to do.
Well, if
So-
she wants to
and
do,
also,
if she wants
If,
to do the
if she
Monday
wants
skips,
onward to match it, you know, that's great.
yeah,
I think we should match onward skip. And if Julie wants to do a Monday, that's fine. I don't mind doing a Saturday.
No.
But the thing is, it's not just down to one person
No.
to choose where
No,
the skip
shouldn't be
goes.
down to one. No,
and if it's a Hamforth community skip,
Correct.
Hamforth is a community,
yes.
and it can't just go on one estate, one road, one
Okay.
corner every
Right,
time.
so can
It
we
doesn't-
put forward, so would you like to put forward a motion then on that?
Well, can I say, can we
An
agree,
amendment to the
can we
motion.
agree councillor Julie Smith's skip day for this? Because she's organised the skip
Absolutely.
with
Yeah.
onward
Yeah.
at the end of March.
No,
Absolutely.
so that's going ahead anyway. You don't have
Yes,
to agree
we don't have to.
anything.
Yeah,
say
I
that.
know, but you want it matched, so why don't we agree to match that
Well,
one at
that's
the
what
end
we
of
said,
March?
we'll agree
No,
one.
we haven't.
That's
We
what-
already have done. We
Right.
did the last one, onward do this one.
Okay,
And we're in a new financial year.
the
in April.
amended proposal is to agree one skip, and then we will review and bring the review to the next council meeting in April and look at the findings from the review. So we propose what, so if we're dividing that, so you divide that by 4 and we're approving £300.
Can I just say, we're the only town or village council that actually do this. The only one
Yeah,
in
and
Cheshire
it's
East.
It's very good.
And
That's what we're doing.
the wonder of it is in its simplicity. It
Well-
doesn't need all this.
Well,
It
does.
really
It
doesn't.
really does.
Well,
So,
that's
but you
your
go ahead
opinion,
and-
and you're totally entitled to it, as everybody else is entitled to
No,
theirs.
Julie, don't
And
say
it's
that.
great, it's not a
No.
personal thing, we are trying to improve. No, it's not a
Oh,
personal
of
thing.
course it is.
Oh,
Anyway,
sorry, I'm gonna say.
get on with
What
it.
was that?
It's
Julie?
not a personal thing.
Is it
Right,
personal?
It is.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
going
it
to
is.
propose that we amend this
Yeah.
to one skip with the review, to come back to review with all of those things in April,
Yeah.
to then obviously review the amount and so forth and so on, take on board all those proposals that people put forward. So I will propose that. Anybody second that? Okay, all those in favour? All those against? Okay, so the motion's carried. Okay, agenda item 240614 is to agree to spend of up to £2,000 towards the cost of installing a history trail lecterns if HTC are successful in their application to the UK Shared Prosperity Fund for £8,000, which is 80% of the total project. Councillor Small.
I was mighty pleased when Hanforth survived the attempt to be welded to Wilmslow and to Chorley. And ever since that welding was prevented, I cast eyes between Hanforth and Wilmslow, looking to see the good things that the two town councils have done. Wilmslow have a superb advantage when it comes to cultural matters. They have a cinema, they've got a historical group, and they've got various other organisations which are involved in cultural matters. Hanforth has no cinema. It has, as far as I know, no local history group. I'm struggling to find anything which goes on in Hanforth which you could regard as being truly cultural in the arts sense. And then an opportunity presents itself because the UK government have decided to award cultural grants this year, and here's the application form. And looking through it, it occurred to, I think, Ashley and I that we could have a go at this and try and get a grant. And between the pair of us, we filled in an application form on the basis that we could apply for the development of a history trail throughout Hanforth. This trail has already been started in the form of the history lectern, which is at the has been installed at Welland Road by the erstwhile Hanforth Town Council. It's been started by means of the lectern which is installed on the station by the Friends of Hanforth Station, and now most recently the lectern which this council, in association with the Friends of Hanforth Station, have installed on the tank track. But when you look at Hanforth, it's got, for its size, a splendid collection of historic buildings. Hanforth Hall, built in 1562. Has it got any kind of lectern outside it? No, it hasn't.
Well,
And
can't
yet-
they put one outside themselves?
Yeah, it's private residence.
Yeah.
I see people stopping, looking and taking photographs and
Yeah.
asking questions
It's on
about
the
it.
map.
The site of the Greyhound Inn. The Greyhound Inn was an old coaching inn on Wilmslow Road, now lost and gone forever. There's nothing to mark that it was ever existed there.
You wouldn't want it.
Then it takes you to RAF 61MU. That too was a major development in Hanforth. It's not celebrated anywhere, and so on and so on. You can go through all the Grade 2 listed buildings in the country. What I'm suggesting to this council is that we send this application in to wherever it goes. You'll tell me, Ashley. Where does it go to?
Cultural grounds,
The Cheshire East, that's right. And if it's successful, we will need to spend some match, or put in some match funding. We're asking for about £8,000. So if this application is successful, then we would get our history trail throughout the community, but we would have to put in £2,000. And that, I guess, is what I am advocating that we do.
Who would use it?
Okay, Councillor Small, have you finished? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Councillor Small.
I'd just like to say I am totally opposed to this. It needs deferring until the end of the cost of living crisis, because John and I sat in a meeting 2 weeks ago for 7 hours at Cheshire East Council talking about this year's budget. We're asking people to increase their council tax by 5%. The green bin tax is going up. And they've got the pressures of all the cost of living crisis as well. And I really think it's a vanity project that we don't need at the moment. So I'm going to propose that we at least defer it.
I agree with Councillor Smith. I don't think we need a history lectern. If anything, I would like to engage the school children, because I remember a good few years ago, we did a history trail at the Grange, and it was very well received, and the children did an excellent project, and it didn't cost, well, I don't think we had a council then, I don't think we did, but I do feel quite rightly that it is a vanity project, and I don't want to know.
I'd rather
about
spend the money on
history.
skips.
Well, I was just going to say, I'd rather spend the money on the skips.
Go around the trail and see where everything's been done.
Yeah.
It's not an
But,
item that,
but I have to say, the map points out all this. I've seen the map. The map is excellent. We don't need to go any further. I personally don't think.
No.
So shall we
Okay,
crack
thank
these?
you.
Red.
Any
Listen.
comments from further councillors? Councillor Rowe?
could I just say, Chair, that
One second, I think Councillor Rowe wants to say something.
I don't see anything particularly historical or relevant to a disused RAF base and a hall that is privately owned. People get off the train to come to Hanforth to do a bit of shopping, go to the schools, and that's about it. There's nothing historical about Hanforth, and Hanforth's great, it's brilliant, but nothing that would make me get on a train and get off and go, oh, I need to go and look at that.
Councillor Small, wish to respond?
To respond in the sense that it's do or die tonight, because the closing date for these grant applications is towards the end of this month. So if we decide that we don't want to go ahead with this, it has to be done now. If we decide that we want to go ahead with it, Ashley needs to submit this grant application ASAP.
Okay, comments from anybody else?
So if he submits the application and we get accepted, then we pay the 2,000.
No, we pay the 2,000 with the grant application.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No,
No.
because we haven't got the money. You pay, if you get the grant, which is a big if, then you have to match funding.
Yeah.
So as Councillor Small points out, yes, we do need to make a decision. It cannot be deferred. So it's either a yes or a no. So we take a vote on it. Does anybody else want to comment?
Well, I like it. I mean, it's there forever. It's enhancing the village. It's interesting. A lot of people find interesting. When you start to talk money, well, let's scrap the lights at Christmas then. You know, where do you draw the line? Where do you stop?
The lights of Christmas bring in a hell of big community
A lot of money to the shop.
and a lot of
Well,
money to the shop.
I like the lights, but I'm just saying, once you
There
start
you
to
go.
talk,
I mean, who's going to come in? Are you going to stand as the bus?
No,
Oh,
I think you
God,
missed the
look at
point.
our history thing.
I think you missed the point. But it's either you like it or don't like it. There's nothing objective here. I don't think it's an emotional thing.
Absolutely.
The lights are for all the residents, not all the residents are going to trade.
Well, you
Well,
talk about poverty and
The other thing is, as you mentioned, the schools, it's beneficial for them because
Yeah.
we were hoping to get them
Yeah.
involved in it, but
Absolutely.
you know, if it council doesn't approve it, that's
Yeah, fine,
council's
yeah.
decision. That's why we're here.
Absolutely.
So, Councillor Small, you would like to propose?
I will propose.
Can I have a
yes.
seconder?
Indeed.
Councillor Moore, and a vote. All those in favour? And those against? Okay. The grant motion not carried. Thank you. 240615 is to receive notices and correspondence. Have we got anything?
No.
Nothing? Okay. 240616, sorry?
No, just remember to ignore that EXO summons.
Oh, yes, for next week.
Yeah, just ignore it now, yeah.
To agree the date of the next HTC meeting to be held on the 9th of April.
Send out an email.
Yeah, just ignore it.
You've ignored it.
No,
No.
doesn't need to, no.
We'll just vote, we've voted to retrospectively
Yeah,
agree
yeah.
at the next meeting.
Okay.
In that case, that is the close of the meeting. Thank you very much, members of the public. We now have a part B, which members of the public are not allowed at. But our two applicants need to speak.
I will get rid of one.
Yes, we will.
I don't say.
And let me turn this down as well.
So, do you want
We don't say.
Yeah,
one of you can stay, whoever was coming first, and the other one has to